These are baby frogs, also known as tadpoles.
And they're a crucial ingredient in one of the worst rated foods in all of Thailand.
This country is full of delicious dishes, but this time I've asked my audience to suggest their worst rated foods in all of Thailand. And today I'll be trying those foods.
Oh my lord.
I'm on a mission to learn whether these foods are misunderstood.
Oh my god, I feel like I'm doing some kind of a YouTube challenge.
Or if they're really just plain awful.
Oh, that's brutal.
And it all starts with
this right here.
Sunny, that's a sponge.
Well, that's why we have Pha here. Pha, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Hi.
You are a local Bangkokian.
Bangkokese.
Bangkokese?
It's called Bangkokians.
Oh, wow.
Bangkokians,
I made that up because I thought it sounded hilarious.
Pha is a local chef and former Master Chef contestant. Next to her, chef and restaurateur Calvin Bowie.
Here we have a unique tray of proteins in front of us. Can you enlighten us as to what these are?
I would have to say, first of all, this is also new for me. This is a zoi ju. Zoi ju is just a cooking process.
Are you sure? I feel like very little cooking has happened here.
In the making of zoi ju, the cow's meat, liver, and tripe are cut into bite-sized pieces and served raw at the dining table. In Isan, the northeastern region of Thailand where this dish comes from, zoi means cut and chu means dip. But the dip is actually the most intimidating part of this dish.
In Isan, people will kill the cow and then they'll eat it bloody raw like that with the bile.
I know about bile. I've been to the north, I've been to Chiang Mai. On the liver of a cow, there's a bile sac. They slit it open, they dump out those yellowy, sometimes green juices. That concentrated bile gets mixed with some other delicious spices and ingredients here, and it makes a bitter dipping sauce.
I've had bile, and I love it.
Really?
I love that acidic sweetness. There's nothing like this on the planet. Bile is great.
I think we should try it very soon. Now, this food has been selected today because it is among the worst rated in all of Thailand. That probably means a lot of tourists and foreigners have come here and they were put off by it, or even just the thought of it was too much for them. So what we're gonna find out today is, are these truly some awful offals, or is it delicious? A lot of people like their steak medium rare. This is more on the rare side.
It's still moving. You hear that?
I can see that.
You've never had this before, have you?
No, I think you guys have experienced more than me. Can I dip it?
No dip.
We want that pure beef flavor. It would be an insult to the chef.
Or the guy who is just cutting beef back there.
Yeah.
It doesn't have much of a taste, does it?
Slightly beefy, almost no fat, so not much flavor.
There's just a tint of ironiness, but not too much.
That's it. It really does need that sauce.
This curious condiment is a complex blend of fish sauce, chili flakes, roasted rice, chicken bouillon, MSG, chili oil, and lime juice. But it's not complete without a spoonful of pure bitter bile.
Here we go.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's bile.
I don't feel good.
Wow, that's intense.
It is. Something that tastes like acid reflux. Does not feel like it should be in a sauce. I love that crazy flavor.
I gotta say, not bad. When I had bile in the north, it was almost just like pure bile. What they've done here is delicately and perfectly blended these different flavors. You've got heat, salt, and bitterness.
But that's a perfect combo, especially for a beef that is so neutral in flavor.
I like it.
I love it.
I'm not their target audience.
Okay, you're not in the demographic.
No.
Next, we have the liver. Oh, wow. Way more intense. You can really feel the tissues break apart as you bite through it. It's soft, it's tender, it's too tender.
It almost dispersed when you bit into it. The blood, the rawness.
And then we have the stomach.
It's the lining of the stomach. It's where holds the poop.
I love it even more. Oh yeah, smell it.
Oh my God. I smelled what it ate yesterday.
In Thailand, we call this kitchen towel or kitchen rags.
Because it looks like it has some threads hanging off of it. Same flavor, completely new texture sensation. 10% chewy, 90% crunchy texture.
I like it because it soaks up all that great sauce.
It really is like a towel for that sauce. So this is our appetizer to the day. A lot of people, they're afraid of this dish. I feel mixed. The meat, actually, I enjoy. The version of the sauce here, I thought good, well balanced, and good use of bile.
The sauce Wow, that is
That
pungent.
explains the sauce.
The sauce is not gonna be for everybody. It's going to be violent. But once you can get into those flavors, you can really enjoy it.
Pho, pass or fail?
Fail.
Okay.
I'm sorry. You have to be brave to eat this.
So we have a long, adventurous day ahead of us, and by the end of today, we're gonna be eating one of the most controversial foods in all of Thailand with a full-time professional eater, Mark Wiens.
Coming up next, the food that's ranked number 1 on Taste Atlas's list of the 61 worst rated foods in all of Thailand.
Ma'am, put her there. It is a pleasure to meet you. I'm very excited to be here today. This kitchen is full of action.
Sai runs a 30-year-old restaurant, a culinary icon when it comes to southern Thai food in Bangkok.
Bangkok, if you didn't know, is the most toured city in all the world. And a lot of foreigners, when they come here for the Thai curry. Today we're having a Thai curry, but with a little bit of a twist. This is a fermented fish entrail curry.
This dish, known locally as Kaeng Thai Pla, is the worst dish in all of Thailand, at least according to Taste Atlas.
People love fish, they love curry. I think the main part that people get hung up on is the entrail part.
Fish entrails includes intestines, stomach, liver, kidneys, swim bladder, and reproductive organs. Folks here ferment fish entrails with salt for a month, creating this muddy sauce that is the most crucial component of Kaeng Thai Pla.
Right here we have 5 different buckets that are 5 different types of fish.
Right. We have the snakehead fish, we have the bile of the fish, we have mackerels, and we have the mullet.
Calvin, here's what's gonna happen next.
No!
Oh yes. Once I lift up this lid, there's no going back. It's probably gonna smell great. That's probably why it's on our list for today. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, God. Oh. Actually, it doesn't smell that bad. It smells quite nutty, almost like sesame.
Huh?
Oh. I didn't do it.
It is pungent. You're right. There's a nutty aroma of wet sesame. Now, listen.
Oh.
I think we could get really deep in there.
Oh, that's brutal.
If fish had their own sewer system, this is what would be inside of it. It's not just their guts, it's whatever was in their guts too. Now this is something that where we come from would probably be discarded. But here, people are taking the entrails and fermenting them. Why use that part of the fish?
It's just to preserve the leftovers because you eat the meat and you got the gut left. So you have a lot of food waste, right? And you don't want that. That's why people came up with the recipe.
The preparation of Kaeng Thai Pla begins with all types of fermented fish entrails joining together in one pot.
So I'm curious what it is about this that turns people off, because it's pungent, it's powerful, but it smells good. So why do you think that some foreigners have difficulty with this dish?
Because it turns out very spicy in the end. That's just it. Because the fishiness of it, people like it.
Turns out, alongside the fermented fish entrails, this dish includes a shrimp paste made with loads of fresh chilies, dried chilies, black peppercorn, and white peppercorn. This paste is responsible for the infamous spiciness in Kaeng Thai Pla. The chef adds water to the mixture, then tosses in garlic, turmeric, lemongrass, galangal, and rice. He lets the pot simmer for 2 hours before straining its contents, revealing a smooth sauce that'll form the base of this curry. After diluting the base with chicken broth, the chef finishes the curry with kaffir lime leaves and smoked mackerel.
Let's give it a little bit of a sniff.
Smells really nice.
I like it. It's a strong smell, but it's not pungent. It's not off-putting. It doesn't smell rotten in any way. It smells amazing.
It smells very festive.
Dang it, I should have said that. It all starts with the rice.
And then you spoon the soup onto the rice.
Before we get to the fish, I think we just really try to soak in that entrail-laden sauce with some of that rice.
So good.
Whoa, I put a bit too much, Alvin. That's a strong flavor.
It hits you like a cement.
Like a cement truck? First of all, salty. Oh, Calvin, after the salt,
The spice.
it is so hot.
It's overwhelming right now. My mouth is on fire.
Oh my God, I feel like I'm doing some kind of a YouTube challenge. Why? This is a normal hotness?
Yes, definitely.
Wow, I feel it on my cheeks, on the back of my throat, down through my windpipe.
I think tomorrow you're gonna have problem with the toilet.
I think in 5 minutes from now.
Once the salt and the burning stops, are you tasting any entrail?
I'm tasting no entrail at all.
No bitterness whatsoever. It's a very umami, full flavor, very savory.
I agree with that.
It's a good fishiness.
Outside of that delicious sauce, we have the actual fish. Better, still very intense. I think this bowl right here would be enough for 3 of us. And that's because there's some kind of protein in there, but this is not meant to be
Devoured.
It's also a dish that a lot of foreigners cannot handle well, and I'm starting to see why. I thought it was just about the entrails. That's kind of not even my concern right now.
Yeah.
I can't imagine anyone enjoying this.
This is definitely how it's supposed to be like, because you only put a little bit on the rice and the rice kind of milds it down.
Tourists like me often mistake this as a typical Thai curry, but it is not. Unlike normal curries, Kaeng Thai Pla has no coconut milk, and it's usually eaten as a sauce to enhance other dishes on the table.
As spicy as it is so addicting. The mackerel has a really nice oiliness. The galangal, it adds in this depth into this curry. Oh, so good.
So good.
This is not our last location. We have a few more things to see, and by the end of this video, Calvin, you and I have to decide which of these foods is the best of the worst. But for now, we gotta keep moving to the bathroom, and then to the next restaurant.
Before we meet Mark Wiens, I've got one more stop to make. A place serving a familiar animal, but a not so familiar body part.
This is the udder of a cow.
You're telling me that this is where milk comes from?
That's where milk comes from.
Sunny, I don't see any nipples.
Oh, cutting already.
Sorry, I felt that.
Mr. Yad's Eatery is the kind of place people flock to after work to enjoy beer and tasty drinking food. Though what's delicious to locals may not always appeal to outsiders like Calvin and me.
Oh, this is one piece?
Wow.
Oh my lord. It is so heavy, it's dense, it's spongy.
And you see the milk dripping.
Ugh.
Oh.
People, when they think of a cow's udder, they think it might be like an empty milk bag. It's not that way at all. You can see as he cuts the tissue, there is no clear big pocket full of milk. Instead, it's this big complex of tissues and reservoirs that hold the milk inside. It's like a sponge. That is what every ounce of milk you have ever drank has strained through. It's a giant cow breast.
But Sunny, isn't that considered the brisket in America?
No, Calvin, because the brisket is the chest. Right here. This is not the chest, it is the udder, or the breast. To me, I gotta say, the meat looks fascinating. It's a texture I've not seen before. It's a unique tissue. I think it's gonna be yummy.
I agree.
All right, folks, we have our mysterious cow udder right here, but next to it, another one of Thailand's most worst-rated foods, duck beak.
Essentially, the beak is not edible because it's just bones, but it's the cheek, the chin of the duck that is attached to the beak.
Wait, do ducks have a chin?
Yeah, it's just the meat all around the beak.
Our chef chops each mandible of the duck beak into halves and marinates them with oyster sauce, soy sauce, chicken powder, garlic, and pepper. Then he tosses them into sizzling hot oil. This Donald Duck nightmare might be seen as one of the worst rated foods in Thailand because it's an unusual ingredient, but it's also a beloved drinking snack of the Isan people.
I think the tongue might have a bone in it.
I took my boat out.
Smart. This guy knows his ducking anatomy.
I do.
If you look at like a pig tongue, cow tongue, no bone in the tongue. Humans, hold on.
Probably not.
Nothing. Ducks, they got a bone inside. You got to pull it out because it's kind of hard.
I love this flavor. Greasy, a little bit of smokiness.
There are degrees of crunchiness, from kind of soft crunchy to hard crunchy. It's not like a big satisfying bite, but it's a little temptation.
This is what I would love to sit around and just drink beer with.
You've got it ready.
Cheers.
Why don't I have one?
I assumed you didn't drink.
And you're not over 21.
So this, a delicious appetizer, but we are here for this.
First, our cook slices the udder thin. Then he infuses the slices with flavors of soy sauce, oyster sauce, MSG, chicken powder, and garlic.
So probably the reason that foreigners might find this a bit challenging is because in the US, we're eating male cows. Female cows, they're used for giving birth to new cows and providing milk. It doesn't make sense to kill off the one of the two genders that provides the milk.
Since udders are mostly composed of fatty tissue, grilling is the best cooking method.
Is this more expensive or is it cheaper than typical beef?
It's really rare, but it's almost half the price of the normal beef.
Half the price.
Like our first dish, soy chu, this delicacy comes from Isan, where people value every part of the animal, including their milk bags.
And the owner claims that it is definitely the greatest of all time.
The udder doesn't really have a lot of fibers to it. You're not biting into a piece of meat where it's tearing apart. It's almost like eating something that is more fat laden. It gives off a spring, almost a bounce.
It's between lungs and tongue. It's similar to the beef lung in its consistency, but I would say not as dense and more spongy. I appreciate the flavor. It's almost like eating tendon or something. There's no strong protruding flavor.
Tendon has a little bit of gaminess. This tastes a little bit sweet. It has a very dairy mouthful. So the more I eat, the more I taste the actual milk from the udder.
Do you like it?
I'm not against it, but I don't find that the sweetness really permeates what I want in a protein. Texture-wise, it's not the texture that I'm looking for.
I love it.
You do?
Yeah. I love the texture. It's like a fun activity for your mouth. I'm doing reps over here with my jaw.
I like it. Well, the owner told me that this kind of resembles a car tire for him.
Not quite selling it to the mass audience.
But coming up next, we're gonna be trying one of the most controversial foods that you can find in Thailand with a full-time professional eater. Mark Wiens.
Mark?
Thank you.
Full-time eater Mark Wiens is a YouTube icon. 15 years of sharing his travel and dining experiences have earned him a fan base of nearly 11 million and counting. As a longtime resident of Thailand, he's here to guide us through 2 of its worst rated dishes.
Before we get into this, I want to ask you some questions, Mark. Some people, when they watch your videos, they might get the sense that Mark enjoys everything. But surely there are foods you've tried before that you did not like on camera. Can you admit 1 or 2 foods that you've absolutely not liked? What is a food that you do not like, Mark Wiens?
There was something I had that I didn't like.
Okay.
Well, it's not stink beans, because you love stink beans.
Like sweet mayonnaise.
Sweet mayonnaise.
Sweet mayonnaise.
Would you say you don't like mayonnaise?
Yeah, I think I don't like mayonnaise.
Would you say you hate mayonnaise?
I think that's pushing it. That's pushing it,
Okay.
Sonny. I don't like the goopy mayonnaise-y, like blobs. Like one time we had this lobster roll, but there's this one place that put these blobs of mayo on top. Oh.
That's so fascinating. I love gloopy globs of mayonnaise.
And I love lobster rolls.
Let's shift to Thai food. Maybe you've lost some perspective since moving to Thailand, but are there any foods in Thailand that foreigners struggle with?
Raw pork,
Ooh, that's up there.
poop-filled intestines.
I've had both of those foods in the same day. I don't know how I'm still here. Part of why we're doing this video is to show that most foods that people count as the worst or lowest rated are misunderstood. Like what we see in front of us right here. This is a delightful bowl full of adult female bullfrogs. Is this something you've had? It's no big deal? Is this like a Tuesday lunch for you?
Actually, I haven't had it before.
You haven't had it
Yeah,
before?
this will be my first time. So this thing, it's very, very seasonal. It only comes like right at the beginning of the rainy season and only lasts for 1 or 2 weeks.
Our pregnant bullfrog dish comes in the form of a sour and spicy soup. A mix of chilies, lemongrass, tamarind, galangal, and turmeric leap into the boiling water, followed by lime leaves and tamarind leaves to create the soup base. Now it's just waiting for the star of the show, which the restaurant owner showed us moments ago.
Most Americans have seen something like this. It's a frog, but there's something special about this frog. It's, in Spanish, pregunte.
Pregunte.
That means pregnant.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, I don't think it's giving birth anytime soon.
While frog meat is common in Thai cuisine, pregnant bullfrogs are another Isan delicacy. The frogs we see here have already been boiled.
Oh my lord. She's ripped the frog open, and what's revealed is that 50% of the real estate inside the frog is pure frog eggs, Kelvin. And that is what we're gonna be eating. That is frog caviar, my friend.
So how many eggs could there be in a bullfrog?
ใช่ มันก็หลายไข่อยู่นะ
She said there's millions.
Really, millions?
I think she's a little over embellishing. I'm gonna say maybe a couple 100,000. Are you counting right now?
The boiled frogs take the plunge, and the cook lets the soup simmer before completing the recipe with turmeric leaves and sawtooth coriander. Due to their seasonal rarity, pregnant bullfrogs can cost double the price of beef.
What I love is that they've recreated the frog's habitat. There's a little marsh. Maybe a stagnant pond.
Oh my god.
Let's try the broth first. Sour, spicy, a little sweet. It really hits the back of your throat.
Immediately the sourness. So the lime juice, or also maybe tamarind. I'm seeing some tamarind leaves in here. Then you taste the galangal in there nicely. Lemongrass, chilies. It has a bit of a smokiness to it as well.
The broth is fantastic, but that is not the star of the show. Right here we have the bullfrog. I think we're just meant to take a bite from the side and just go for it.
Oh my god.
We gotta do it together.
Have you had this before?
No, I'm not ready. I'll do this. I'll do this.
Oh yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Definitely better than I thought.
Considering this was supposed to be one of our scarier foods of the day, pretty dang delicious. Sticky eggs, you can feel them individually, but when you chomp on them, it really kind of sticks to your teeth.
I love how each egg pops in your mouth, but the skin of the bullfrog, it's so thin. You can bite right into it.
Tastes like a natural sausage.
That broth has just penetrated everything within the frog. So all that delicious broth flavor that we got originally, it's still in there, but then you're just getting that unique texture of just millions of eggs on the inside.
And what's amazing is like almost no bones. It's all meat and eggs and just delicious.
Now, why do you think this was rated one of the worst dishes in Thailand? Because you know it's delicious.
I think the people rating those dishes haven't tasted it. Because if you tasted it, it's absolutely delicious. Like, I don't know if you could not like this.
Well, next to you have someone who has a tiny amount of eggs on her spoon. What do you think now?
It's definitely different than what I thought. Sticky and creamy to some sort. It's actually good.
So, first dish, pretty dang delicious. I think we all think so. But then there's this. This right here. Tadpoles. This right here in my hand, a big goopy pile of tadpoles. That's what we're gonna be eating as well. It's gushy, it feels gooey. Calvin, put 2 hands out, please.
Sure, like that.
You feel that? It's like a bunch of dead minnows or something. Oh, it smells like mushrooms.
It does. It has a very funky aroma.
ใช่ค่ะเหมือนเห็ดเหมือนมัสลูม
She's acting like this is some kind of a luxury perfume from Dubai.
Oh.
Put some behind my ear because it smells so good.
Tadpoles are another treat of the rainy season. Folks here love them when they're around 2 to 4 weeks old, when their hind legs begin to develop but their tails have not yet disappeared. Weird. The classic Isan tadpole recipe goes like this. Tadpoles are mixed with chili paste, whole shallots, fish sauce, fermented fish sauce, MSG, green onions, sweet basil, and whole chilies.
Why do people like the tadpoles?
พิเศษตรงที่ว่า
It's not fishy at all. They don't have bones in there, so it gives like kind of a frog taste, but melt in your mouth.
Like foie gras.
Right.
Like frog gua.
The mixture is wrapped inside banana leaves, secured with toothpicks and steamed.
All you have to do is take out the toothpick and spread open our little package. Oh, wow.
Juicy.
I love this simplicity style cooking. Nose to tail. Nothing is disregarded.
That's all it really has. All that tadpole is a nose and a tail. Is this a food you're excited for?
I wouldn't say so, but yeah, let's have it.
Whoa, that's a lot going on there. I have a mix of emotions. The tadpoles have an odd texture to them. It's not melting in my mouth per se. It's like I can feel their body collapsing under my teeth.
It's almost like eating little anchovies.
Oh, that's a better, yeah.
I love these flavors. Herbaceous.
Spicy, sour.
It goes perfectly with sticky rice. It's juicy, it's flavorful. Yeah, this is incredible.
Fa, honest opinion?
She said it's like kind of like foie gras, right?
There's no foie gras in this.
A little bit more chewy. It's really creamy.
Do you like it? No. Okay.
Sorry.
At least she's honest. I'm a little bit in the middle. I love the seasonings. I love the flavor. The texture is a bit unusual to me, and I think you were spot on when you said it's kind of like
Baby anchovies.
Yeah. Am I gonna come back here next time I come to Thailand and come here craving this food? No. No.
No?
No. But I can eat it, I can appreciate it, and I can understand what locals love about it.
It's good in its own way. It's just also an acquired taste.
Yeah, well, I'm handsome in my own way, so.
An acquired taste.
Oh my God, I got roasted. 400 degrees Fahrenheit by Mark Wiens. Calvin, today we ate the worst of the worst in Thailand, but for you, which was the best of the worst?
For me, I think the dish that was misunderstood is the entrails dish. It's a dish that I'm not quite sure, is it a sauce, is it a curry, but it was fully intense.
I agree that that dish is probably misunderstood by foreigners who think it's just a typical curry. It's not. But that was not my best of the worst. To me, if I had to pick one from the entire day, it would be the cow udder.
Oh.
It was chewy, it was animally, it was protein. I loved it. So for you guys, let us know what you think downstairs in the comments below. Which one do you want to try? Do you want to try one of them that you saw? Or were you like, ugh, gross?
Hungry for more fun food videos? Join me at More Best Ever Food Review Show, a channel that's unfiltered, raw, half the quality and twice the fun.
You walk away and come back. Oh, look, the server.
Subscribe now and you probably won't regret it.
เพราะมันผลิตนมไง
I like when you touch your
I'm calling HR.
you think
There's got to be an HR here somewhere. What sounds do Thai ducks make, by the way?
Gap, gap, gap.
Okay, in the USA they say quack, quack, quack. But we got different ducks. This is like a quintessentially Thai curry. You're not going to find anything like this in any other part of the world.
No, and you're not going to find anything like this in other parts of Thailand as well. It's just the southern.
Wouldn't Thailand fall into the world?
Hold on, Thailand is separate from the world. In my example. Today we've already had the bile.
Yeah.
Calvin loved it, and I would say it's an acquired taste.
But Bile has this sweetness to it as well, right?
Does it?
Bile to me reminds me of a long night of drinking. The next morning, back of the throat, that is bile.
You're not a big drinker, so you've never drank until you vomited out the whole lining of your stomach, have you?
Never.
Oh my gosh. So for us, we have a terrible memory tied to that. For him, he goes, a little sweet.
So angelic.
Well, thank you.
I want to say a huge thank you to Calvin for joining me today. You can find him, this guy right here, cut to him, on FKN Deliciousness on every platform in the world.
Including OnlyFans.
Oh, I thought it was only fan. Did you get a second one? You got a second fan?
It's one person, just a little bit heavy set.
That's still one guy then. Otherwise, guys, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Peace! I need to get on the phone with my agent
wonder
because
how
I don't understand.
Big
I
Koi's
was
doing.
promised in the hotel a California King, and they
if
said they have
fucking
an
Deliciousness and Mark
Arkansas
Wiens
King.
did a
What is
show,
an
would it call
Arkansas
me
King?
fucking Mark?
Hello? Hey, can we talk real quick? Hey, hello?
Why are you calling me?
My wife is my agent.
Oh.